Hello and welcome to today's Take 5. We are continuing to do our devotional time together, looking at the book of 1 Samuel. And today we're looking at one of the most famous stories told in the whole of the Bible, I think. It's the story of David and Goliath, the underdog story. Everyone knows the story of David and Goliath. And it's a great story to be looking at today. And I've just got some simple thoughts around it, really, that will hopefully provoke some insight and some reflections for you today as well. Firstly, what I noticed was that there was accusations being thrown every single day. They were hurling insults at God's people every single day. The voice of the enemy often will speak lies and will deceive and will hurl insults at us, bring accusation towards us, God's people. And it's kind of a sign that we've been looking at spiritual warfare currently at church. And it's kind of a sign that we're on the right direction. When the enemy kicks up a fuss, I actually think it's like he overplays his hand every time. And it's kind of like a symbol that God is going to do something significant. And so the fact that they're being provoked, they're hurling insults every single day, is building and building. And basically Saul isn't doing anything about it. Full of insecurity, full of fear, the whole of his army is now living in fear and insecurity, and they're getting this voice of insult kind of calling towards them, this giant Goliath who's like shouting at them, just bringing fear, bringing in accusation. And what David does, he rocks up to the battlefield and he just starts to, I noticed that he asks some questions like, how long has he been doing this? And I think when it comes to spiritual warfare, sometimes it's really important. We can think, obviously want to go after it in prayer and power and bring in like scripture, Bible verses, start bringing declaration and praise and worship. But sometimes it's simply asking some key questions. How long has this been going on for? What are we going to do to make some differences? Who do they think that they are? And I think the fact that there's just a really simple concept of sometimes asking some key questions can unlock certain things. And I love that David brings this security into a real insecure atmosphere and basically just starts to ask some provocative questions about the situation and the circumstance, changes the environment just by asking some simple questions. And I've just got some things that we can maybe take note of or think about or consider for application. I've written some things down. Don't live in denial and don't live in hiding. The people of God at the time were living in denial. This voice, this Goliath that was just on the battlefield constantly, day after day after day, just making them live in fear. Don't live in denial. Don't live in hiding. Get to the heart of the issue. Don't watch from a distance. Ask the right questions in order to properly deal with what's going on. The spiritual warfare, the things that you're up against in your life, don't kind of brush them under the carpet. We don't want to kind of like C.S. Lewis talks about this. He's like, there's two types of people. Either there's a demon in around every corner, or there's people that just overlook it. They sweep those things under the carpet and they don't acknowledge any kind of sense of the spiritual realm or things that we're up and battling against. And don't be that person, basically. David knew that he had what he needed in God and that he had the ability to do what was required to defeat the enemy. Know what you carry in God and know that you can do what's required to defeat the enemy in your life. And then the last form of application that I've written down is don't allow the voice of insecurity prevent you from what needs to be done. The enemy wants to keep you in a place of hiding, in a place of fear and insecurity. Don't allow his voice prevent you from what needs to be done next. I just pray that encourages you. Read through the chapter again, read it for again and again and again, and just know that God is on your side. He's for you, he's not against you. You're more than a conqueror in Christ. You've got this. Let's go.